how we doing? Just give me a little thumbs up if you can hear me all right, and if you can see me. I'm just trying to get this camera a bit set up better. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for jumping on tonight's call. This is being recorded, by the way, so if you want the recording at the end of it, reach out and we'll get that over to you. Probably be tomorrow. I'll post it in the groups. So really excited to do this call tonight. For those of you that don't know me, my name is John Holowati. I've been involved with this company for the last 10 years, and I've been taking these amazing products since 2009, and I will take them for the rest of my life. So I got involved with this product when I was a personal trainer. I'd done my degree in sports science, and I was just blown away by the concept. I needed the products because I was burnt out. I'm sure you'll see a lot of people that are burnt out right now. It's that time of year. And I was just working from 6 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night, working the gym floor and just training people. And I was completely exhausted. So these just bridge the gap between what I should be in and what I do eat. It's very, very simple. I'm not going to go into the products tonight in massive detail. So I use these products to help me with my micronutrients, my vitamins, my minerals, all the stuff that you get from plant-based nutrition. And I use these products, which are vegan omega blend. We can actually get more omegas from these products than you could from fish oils because we're not using fish. Okay, fish generally only eat plant algae in the ocean. We've actually got omega oils from pomegranate seed and other amazing seeds and fruits that we found from different parts of the world. So that's the capsule content in terms of micronutrients. It just makes it easy to bridge the gap between what we should eat and what we do eat. You know, the government guidelines are 5 raw portions of vegetables every single day and 5 raw portions of fruit every single day. And it's difficult. You know, I've had some salmon and some vegetables tonight for my evening meal, and I had a portion of steamed broccoli, and that was it, right? So that's one, and it wasn't raw. So, you know what? I've not even done it today. Like, I haven't got enough nutrients in terms of that. So what I do know is taking these every single day, just to give you an example from the vegetable blend, I'm getting in here in raw, pure form, broccoli, spinach, kale, tomatoes, garlic, cabbage. In the fruit one, peaches, dates, prunes, papayas, acreola cherry, cranberries, mangoes, oranges, apples, all that kind of stuff. And then you've got the berry blend. So those are the micronutrients. And then we also have this, which is complete, which is a plant-based vegan shake that you can use as a breakfast. You can use it as a post-workout recovery. It's amazing as a healthy snack on the go. And this was a product that I've used myself for many years and recommended to my clients and anyone really that I know is wanting to stay on track. The hardest thing, and you'll probably see how many people have started fitness programs and health programs in January and they've fallen off the wagon, usually because they got hungry and their cravings kicked in and they pulled over into the garage and grabbed a chocolate bar or something. And the mentality of a human being is to, when they get a puncture, is to slash the other 3 tires, especially when it comes to eating healthy. So they're like, you know what? I've had the Mars bar. I'm just going to go and have a packet of crisps and a bottle of Coke, and then I'm going to go to McDonald's and all that kind of stuff. We kind of do that. I don't know why we do it, but we do. It's crazy when you think about it. So these help you stay on track, as do the bars. I'm not going to talk about any product claims or anything like that. You know, we don't claim to cure or prevent or anything. But what I will say is these products make it very, very simple to get healthier. They make it very, very easy to get healthier. And it's very, very quick to see results in a change in your health just by making a few subtle changes. And I don't know a faster way to get low glycemic index carbohydrates, plant-based proteins, and gluten-free, dairy-free nutrition into your body in less than a minute using these shakes for breakfast. And I've been doing this 10 years, and I've discovered something this last couple of days. I've discovered that these shakes, when mixed with eggs, make the most incredible omelets. All right, just go with me on this one. You might think I've lost the plot, but I've been like Chef Ramsay this weekend, making up complete omelets, slicing up bananas, cinnamon, coconut oil, walnuts. I even did it with the chocolate one. It didn't look the best. It looked like doner kebab meat, but it actually tasted incredible, and I felt super full afterwards, and I knew that I was putting good stuff into my body. Anyway, that's enough from me. We're really privileged tonight to have an amazing lady on the call, Dr. Sue Bates. So let me just find her. Hang on, I don't think she's put doctor in her Zoom name. There we go, Sue is there. Okay, so let me unmute Sue and spotlight Sue. Perfect. Okay, Sue, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect. Can everybody, let me just move this over. And yes, everyone, we can see you. Perfect. Okay, so Sue is a good friend of mine. We've known each other for how many years now?
Getting on for 8.
Wow, 8 years. Unbelievable.
It will be 8 this summer.
So 8 in the summer. So Sue's an amazing lady, and she's got a great story. But the first time I met Sue, she came to a meeting, and we're going to touch on this in a minute, but she was skeptical. She saw the product presentation, and she came up to me at the end, and she said, "It all sounds great, John, but I'm from a research background." And I said, "Well, it just so happens, Sue, that we have got 30 or more studies that you can go and read." And she went, "Well, that's exactly what I'm going to go and do." And she went away and read all the studies and came back to me and was like, "I'm in. I'm really impressed." So, Sue, can you just tell me a little bit about your background, please?
Yeah, sure. Well, I've come from a background in basically teaching and science. So I trained as a secondary school biology teacher first, and then I decided I wanted to go back into research. So I went back to university, did a PhD, and nearly 20 years altogether in research. So I researched nerves to start with, and then I did quite a few years looking at cardiovascular research, so heart and blood vessels. And then when my kids were fairly young, I came out of that, went back into education again, had a few years working with schools, and then trained as a life coach and hypnotherapist. So I've done quite a lot over the years.
Amazing. And obviously there's a lot of research in the hypnotherapy and all that kind of thing as well, so it kind of lends itself to what you were doing. So I love this question, and I was skeptical myself. So why were you skeptical when you saw the concept? Was it sounds too good to be true, or what was the reason when you were in that meeting that you were skeptical?
Yeah,
or was it my dodgy presentation?
Well, obviously mostly it was that, but I think coming from I've been very interested in nutrition for many years. Ever since I had my kids, I was really interested in what we put into our bodies and the healthiest things to eat. But I'd always come at it from eating healthy rather than supplements. And when I was doing research, part of my research was on free radical damage and oxidative stress. And we all took vitamin E and vitamin C, and those were the only ones we felt would do us any good. So I wasn't really into taking multivitamins, and initially I thought that that's what this was. And then the other thing was I just couldn't understand how you could get all that fruit and veg in a capsule with all the goodness of the original fruit and veg.
Totally. That's what I was like at the beginning. That was my thing. It was like, how did they get all the nutrients in? And then when I went away and watched the video from farm to capsule, or Farm Fresh, I think it's now called, on YouTube. By the way, go and check it out, guys, if you want to get your head around how they get, a carrot or a broccoli into a capsule that big. So you came to the event, and then you went away and you read all the studies. So can you tell me a little bit about maybe two or three things that you were really impressed with?
Okay, well, I did pretty much read them all. They weren't all in my area of expertise, so some of it I sort of skim read. But having been in research, I can understand what real science looks like. So I read them all. I think there were 3 studies that really stood out for me. And the first one was the very first study that was done, I think in 1996. It's a long time.
Yeah, you got it, 1996.
yeah, in University College in London, and basically they were looking at what happens to people's bloods when they take Juice Plus, and whether what's in the Juice Plus actually gets out of our guts into our bloodstreams and into all the cells of our body. Because if you're taking anything, it's no good if it just goes in one end and out the other. It's got to get into your bloodstream. And so that very first study, it was exactly the right thing to do, to look at first. And it showed that yes, when people take Juice Plus, it's not like a multivitamin where a lot of the vitamins just go straight through and don't ever get into the system. It actually gets in. So some of the really important antioxidants that you get in fruit and veg, when they looked at people's bloods after taking Juice Plus, they went shooting up. One of them went up 20 times, another one went up 5 times, another one doubled. And they went up and they stayed up as long as people were taking the Juice Plus. So for me, that was the clincher, really. It goes in, it stays in, and once it's in there, it's going to be doing good things. So that was one. That was the most important one for me. Another one that really impressed me was a skin study, which was quite new at the time, because none of us want to look as old as we are, unless we're 17 and we want to look 18. But the thing that keeps you looking young more than anything else is your skin. First thing people look at is your face and the quality of your skin. And if you want your skin to look good, it needs to be hydrated, it needs to have good circulation, it needs to have good density, and it needs to have a good thickness. And if you've got all those things, that's what all these creams claim to do. But if you've got all that, you're going to have healthy looking, fairly young looking skin. And there was a study on women who took Juice Plus, and it showed all of those things. And I think that's why when you get a room full of people who take Juice Plus, everybody's got a healthy glow because of that skin effect. And if I can quickly just talk about the third one, which has really been important for me and my family, is the effect on the immune system. So this time of year particularly, everybody's got coughs, colds, flu, chest infection, all sorts of viruses. And particularly if you've got kids, they bring them home from school, everybody's ill, seems to be ill all the time. And what we need is something that's going to boost our immune system. And this study showed that it was done on healthcare professionals who had patient contact, so they were constantly picking up infections. And it showed that when they took Juice Plus for a number of weeks and over months, they were having less time off work with coughs and colds. If they did get a cold, it wasn't so severe. So they weren't getting the symptoms, it wasn't stopping them doing things. And for me and my family, I think that's probably the single most important thing for all of us, is that we hardly ever get sick. We don't tend to catch cold. And that's, for me, that's massive. So those three were the ones that really stood out for me.
Amazing. I mean, you've touched on 3 studies there that are things that I quote every time. The first one is, the product's proven to get into the bloodstream and have a positive effect. That's the first thing we need to know. So we know that it's working from an inside, but no one ever comes up to me on the street and says, "Oh my God, John, your heart is so healthy and beautiful. Look at it." They never say that, right? But we know that what we're putting into our body is working for us because of the studies. But then from the outside looking in, someone comes to you and says, "Wow, your skin's looking better, you look glowing, you're radiant," that kind of thing. It definitely, forget Juice Plus. I always say, when I talk about skin health, just Google the benefits of plant-based nutrition on skin health, and you will see massive amounts of research. The only difference is it's so difficult to get all that plant-based nutrition every single day. But we found a secret, we found the secret way of basically putting a salad in a capsule. It's as simple as that. So the immune system, again, I can definitely vouch for that one. I had family over at Christmas. I think 3 of them were sick, and I never got ill once. I've not had a cold in 10 years using this product. Whenever I get run down, I do a lot of traveling, and you tend to get run down if you're flying a lot. I always double up, and I double up on my capsules. I flood my body with nutrients, and touch wood, I've not spent a day in bed with that kind of fever thing where you're sweating and you can't stop sneezing and that kind of thing. So let me just touch on the research, because this is a question that comes up a lot. And I was with our CEO, Paulo Teixeira, in Portugal, actually, about 3 weeks ago. And I said, Paulo, I've got a question for you about the studies, because, and I'll let you guys into a little secret, but there is something going on at the minute behind the scenes, which is called the Juice Plus Science Institute. Juice Plus is actually creating its own science institute to study the benefits of plant-based nutrition on human beings. So it's not just to study capsules, it's actually to study healthy living and plant-based nutrition. But I was like, can I ask a question about the studies? How much do these studies cost? Like, how much is the research to be done? And his answer was from anything of $300,000, and the biggest one we've had done cost $2 million to run. I think that was the one that they did at UCLA, which is one of the top institutes around the world. Because one thing I didn't mention is these studies are not conducted, just by some random person in the kitchen. These are double-blinded, placebo-controlled studies that are done on, human beings, and they conducted from the best universities all over the world. So, Sue, can you just touch on this whole thing? Oh, well, Juice Plus funds the research, so the studies don't count for anything, that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, you're right. Obviously, it costs a huge amount to do this research. Excuse me. I think the last research project I was involved in, and that was 18 years ago, cost $250,000. And obviously, it's a lot more expensive now than it was. So somebody's got to pay for it, basically. And if you think about, if you take any drug, paracetamol, any pain-killing drug, any medical drug, it's got to be thoroughly researched. We've got to know it's safe, and obviously the drug companies have to know that it does what it says it does. So all that research has to be done. And if it's a new cancer drug, say, nobody would question why the company that makes it is paying for research, because who else is going to pay for it, basically? And I think it's a very, very positive thing that Juice Plus company, rather than ploughing all their profits into paying somebody to be the face of Juice Plus or taking more profit, they actually put a huge amount of their profit back into funding this research, because we all want to be confident that Juice Plus does something, is the next best thing to fruit and vegetables. And all of that, I think, well, there's well over 30 studies being done now, and they're all different. They're all on different things. Some of them are on blood, on the heart, on, like I've said, on skin, on inflammation, all sorts of things. But what every single one that's been published shows is that what Juice Plus does is very similar to what a huge amount of fresh fruit and veg does in your body. And there's loads of research on what fruit and veg does. We know it's good for all those things. So that research is so important for everyone to be confident that what we're taking is actually doing us good, and doing us good in the same sort of way as fresh fruit and veg. And frankly, who else is going to pay for it? We're looking at preventative medicine here, and there's no money in preventative medicine. All the money sloshing around is from the drug companies on making you feel better when you're already ill. I think there are some external organisations beginning to fund some of the Juice Plus research, but it'll probably always be mostly us that fund it, Juice Plus that fund it, because it has to be. And it doesn't mean it's not real research. Juice Plus actually fund the research, but they're not involved in actually doing the experiments. Say there's some research being done at Birmingham Dental School, which is really good research on bleeding gums and wisdom tooth extraction on people that are taking Juice Plus. So all that the company does is provide the money to pay the people and buy the equipment. They then provide the Juice Plus for the study. They provide the placebo. So all these studies have people that take Juice Plus and people that take a placebo, and nobody knows who's taking which means it's absolutely bulletproof science. That's what Juice Plus does. They then stand back, let the scientists do their thing, and get their results and then publish it in their own peer-reviewed scientific journals. And then obviously we see those results, and it gives us confidence in what Juice Plus is doing. But it's not as if they're paying for results. They're just funding the research to find out what's going on, if that
I
makes
think
sense.
that's the key, Sue, isn't it? They're paying for research. They're not paying for results. And
Yeah.
who else is going to pay it? You know, the man on the street isn't going to say, oh, I like the idea of your products. I'm going to pay 2 million to get this research. I think the other thing as well, which I love about the research, is it stands the test of time. So you just mentioned a study there that was conducted in 1993. Now, any athlete that was saying, oh, I'm the face of Juice Plus in 1993 isn't really relevant now, unless they're a darts player or something, right? And they're probably not the best advocates of our product. No disrespect to darts players, by the way. Yeah, I think that's cool that we have that. You know, we can say, in 10 years' time, we can still go back to the study done in 1993. In 10 years' time, we can still go back to the skin study done at the University of Fidenca in 2009. And what I do know is there's more studies coming. So we're going to continue as a company to put our product up against scientific research and say, hey, let's prove that it gets into the bloodstream and has a positive impact. I would love them to do a study on hair growth. I've seen in our testimonial groups what this product is doing for people's hair nutrition. So final question, Sue. I would love to know what your results have been. You've been taking the product for just under 8 years. So what have your results been? And, you know, can you tell me a little bit how it's impacted you and your family?
Absolutely. Can I just go back to the hair just for a second, John?
Yeah, go for it.
Because I've got a couple of really good friends who have suffered from alopecia and they've taken Juice Plus and they've had fabulous results. But if you think about it, it makes perfect sense, because we know that your skin's healthier, your skin's got better circulation. If you've got better circulation to your hair follicles, it makes sense sort of that it's going to affect your hair growth and your hair health. So that's what I say to people. But it would be lovely to see it studied.
Yeah, the hair's a cell, right? The same as skin.
Yeah, absolutely. So my journey. Well, when I discovered Juice Plus, I'd just launched my own life coaching business. At the time, I had 3 teenagers still at home. My other half works for himself as well, so it was pretty busy at home. I was very tired. I was pretty run down. I was actually heavier than I had been since I was pregnant, and I think that was where it goes with being tired and being run down. So I wasn't in a great place, which I think was part of the reason why I really jumped on the project, because I felt they really would help. So I did notice quite quickly that I was feeling more energetic. But being a scientist, I thought, well, maybe that's a placebo effect. Maybe I'm just thinking I'll feel more energetic. So I am. So I sort of put that one aside. And then the next thing that happened was a couple of people said, oh, you look really well. Have you been away? And I thought, oh, that's nothing to do with Juice Plus. But of course it was the skin, because skin cells do turn over really quickly. So I think that's probably it was getting through to my skin, and my skin was looking better. But the thing that really did it for me was I'd always run. When I was much younger, I used to do a lot of road running, and it's really hard on your joints if you do it for many years. I've also got arthritis in my family. My mum's had a knee replacement, my sister needs too. And it was beginning to really affect me. I couldn't actually run. So if I went on a treadmill in the gym, I could walk really fast, but as soon as I broke into a trot, the pain was so bad I just couldn't keep going. And to be honest, I never really thought Juice Plus would do anything for that. I wasn't expecting anything. But about 6 weeks in, I realised that it didn't hurt going downstairs like it had done for ages. So I thought, well, I'll test it out. So I went to an exercise class about half a mile away, and I jogged home. And that was the first time I'd been able to jog any distance at all in about 3 years. So for me, I was just gobsmacked. And that was the clincher. I was absolutely blown away by that, because I hadn't changed anything else. I hadn't changed my diet massively as well as taking Juice Plus. It had to be that. And we know that Juice Plus really is good for inflammation of all kinds. And it was the inflammation in my knees that was giving me the pain. And I mean, it hasn't mended my knees. They're arthritic knees, and they're not probably getting any better. But they don't, apart from the odd twinge, they don't hurt like they used to. And I'm never going to test it. I suppose I could not take it for a bit and test it out. But I'm not going to do that.
But again, Sue, like, just to link that back to the research, we know that it reduces inflammation from one of the research papers. So we know that when we get overuse injuries, we get inflammation in the body. Like, you get tennis elbow, you get sore knees from running around, all that kind of stuff. So you know what, I truly believe that a lot of the testimonials that we hear, and by the way, guys, get yourself in the testimonial groups for body transformation, for skin health, for the hair growth, for the healthy starts for families. You know, these are amazing stories. We've not just got the science to prove that the products work, we've also got real life testimonials. So finally, Sue, you share this with your friends, with your family as well. You know, can you just touch on passing that on? I guess you feel obligated to share something that's worked for you.
Yeah. Well, the first people I shared it with, obviously, was my own family. And when I first went on it, I had a Healthy Starts for Family product. So I got it free for my son. He got fruit and vegetable capsules. He was 14 at the time, and he was rowing competitively. And the thing that he knows, he reckoned he was training better and recovering better. But the big thing he noticed was his acne, which was quite bad, just cleared completely. And I think probably because of that, he's 22 now, and he still takes it religiously every day, as does my daughter and my other half, and my mum, and the whole of my family are on it, and they all have different results. But I do think you feel obligated to share it with your family. My other half has a lung condition that he's had since he was a baby. He's got good lungs, but they don't work properly. They don't work very well. The tubes are very narrow. So if he gets a cough or a cold, it used to be he'd have to go to bed for 2 or 3 days because he just couldn't get any air into his lungs. So he started taking Juice Plus, and he stopped catching colds, and that makes a huge difference. And then he stopped taking Juice Plus, he drifted off and got another cold and was in bed for nearly a week. So he'll take it forever. So all of my family have got their own stories. And once you're sharing with family, of course you're going to share with friends, anyone you care about to start with, because we've all seen different results, and everybody can benefit from more fruit and veg. Unless you're having 13 portions a day, every day, organic, fresh, you know, vine ripened, unprocessed, unpreserved, which nobody does, you can benefit from more. So of course I share it with everybody who will listen to me, really.
I love it, Sue. That is it. I'm afraid we've run out of time. Just want to say thank you so much for jumping on here, sharing your wisdom. I know you've got an amazing presentation about skin health. So I think what we'll do is we'll figure out a way to get you to do this again online, and maybe share your screen, and you can talk people through the ins and outs of this skin study that you're so passionate about. But it was an absolute pleasure having you on. Thanks for all you do. And yeah, give Sue some love, guys. And then I'm going to end this call, and then we're going to restart the call again. It's the same code for the lifestyle call, which is about how you can become a partner with our company and refer the products to your friends and family. So thanks again, Sue. Absolute golden nuggets, left, right, and center there. Really, really appreciate it. So thank you. And I will end the call now and then restart on the same code. All right. See you in 2 seconds. Cheers.